Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. It's November 2023 and recently we've had added the data link. This is a really important piece of kit, especially for multiplayer use. It allows us to share data from messages to orders to mission data to real-time points. So we've put it all into a little mini mission to show not only using it and pushing the buttons, but how to actually use it on the fly in real time for an actual target. We'll split the video up into 4 stages. 1, setting up in Mission Editor. 2, setting up from Cockpit. 3, using data link from the COM page. And 4, using data link through the TSD. First, setting up in the Mission Editor. Here is a target. It's a building. It's defended by 4 hostile units. ZSU-23 there, a Tunguska there, and a Strela there. Let's create our helicopters now in Mission Editor and show the data link. So, create helicopter. There, this is going to be the first group. In fact, important to say, this data link is not compatible with other data links in game. It's a bespoke data link just for the Apache. So, if you can see at the top right, I've placed my helicopter. Group 1 will be Rotary 1, that's fine. It's an Apache, obviously. Skill must be client. Pilot can be Rotary 1-1, that's fine. Call sign, let's make something a bit more appropriate for an Apache. So why don't we make this first one Pale Horse. I will be playing as Pale Horse, and that's what you'll see this video from. In terms of armament and the role play, I will have some Hellfires and reduce my fuel. I will have 2 members of this group. Create the second member like that. Next, the 3 tabs at the right hand side are what we're interested in. Radio presets, additional properties, and data link. First, let's start with radio settings. Just to show you, we actually have 5 radios in this aircraft, 4 of which can have presets, and here are where we set those presets for those radios, and we can do the same in the cockpit. Next, additional properties. If we look at the 2 entries at the bottom, they're very important. They are information representing our particular aircraft on the data link. If I go back to the unit 1, which is me, my data link originator ID, which is a unique reference number in the data link. Every Apache on that data link must have a unique number. And this is my associated call sign. It populates it automatically and increments it automatically when we put units down in the mission editor, but we can also change it. I would suggest never changing the number there unless there's an obvious reason to do it, like there's a conflict. But the ownership call sign you can change if you want. And why don't I change myself to P1 for Pale Horse 1. My group mate here, I'm going to change him from G2 to P2. Next, onto the data link tab. This is where the complexity starts, and it's really important to understand how this is set out. First, there are multiple data link presets. Our default is preset 1, and we can go all the way up to preset 10. Why would we have multiple data link presets? It's probably best if I ask Matrix to explain.
You might want different presets if you're operating in an environment with a lot of Apache flights. So you'd have, say, a flight of 4 Apaches on one data link, preset 1, and another 4 on preset 2, another on preset 3. So the tasks are separate, but ultimately if you wanted to swap guys around, you can do it from the aircraft or from the data link, but generally you want to try and subdivide the task to keep the data link traffic down.
And then you could maybe have a battalion preset where all could communicate?
Correct, yeah.
If we want to set those presets up, we go to settings. We can see you have the 10 presets here. Each preset can have a unit ID, just the name of the preset. I wouldn't suggest changing it, but you can. I'm going to call mine Pale Horse. You can even change the call sign of the preset if you want, and I'll change that to Pale. Really importantly, each active preset must have a radio assigned to it. So, a standard presets 1 to 4 have our VHF, UHF, FM1 and FM2 radios assigned to that. You can change them if you want, but I would, unless there's a real good reason to, I would suggest not changing them. We also have a tick box to activate them on the data link. So nothing needed to be changed there, but you can if you want. Back to network. This is where we populate aircraft into those presets. For today, we've only got 4 of us, so we really only need a single preset. So we'll work with just a single preset, but we'll show in the mission how we can change between presets. So, preset 1, Pale Horse, Pale. Auto acknowledgement means that when a message is, for instance, sent to me, my aircraft will automatically send an acknowledgement back. I don't know why you would want to turn it off, but don't. If I send a message to someone else and they do not send an acknowledgement back, how many retries do we want to try before giving up? Next, the members of this preset as relating to my aircraft. So with my aircraft selected, no, I've got someone else selected. Let me go back. Pip. Well, we can see because Rotary 1-2 is part of my group, he's automatically been added to this preset. In fact, he's automatically been added to all presets. It's just a shortcut in DCS so that when you place multiple aircraft in one group, they automatically get added to the Datalink preset. I could delete him here, but I won't. Before we go any further here, I think it's time to create the next group. I would not suggest copying and pasting. Let's create a new group. So we're going to add a second group. In fact, it's a good idea if I explain the characters involved today and their positions so that it makes a bit more sense. So I'm just going to place that there. So Pale Horse 1-1 is me. Pale Horse 1-2 is going to be Bird. This group over here, which I'm going to make Gunslinger. Gunslinger 1-1 will be Matrix, and Gunslinger 1-2 will be Simba. Alright, so I've created the group. The group name is inconsequential. It's Rotary 2. I'm going to make it Client. I'm going to make it Gunslinger. I'm going to make 2 of them. And I'm going to keep their weapons as no weapons for part of the role play that we're going to be doing. I'm going to check their additional properties. As standard, we have Matrix here. Gunslinger 1-1 has been assigned 3. For his ID, and Simba, Gunslinger 1-2 as 4. It's also incremented their own ships to G3 and G4. We don't need to do that. G1 and G2 are no longer in operation. If you remember, I changed mine and Bird's call signs. So we can actually, if we want, revert Matrix to G1 and Simba to G2. We don't need to do that, but it's just showing you that we can. Next, we need to populate our data link. So if we go back to the beginning with me, so that's Pale Horse 1-1. If we go to our data link, I can now add parts of this group. That's Matrix and Simba. I can either do it via adding the group from the drop down here, which will add both, or just one element of that group. I want to add both, so add. If we ignore their group names and just look at their data link information, G1 and G2, IDs 3 and 4 have now been added. I can delete just one of them, delete Simba, and I can bring Simba back in individually. We have to decide when these aircraft are added to our Datalink preset, how they can share information to us. They can either be a primary and or a team member. Primary means that they can share reports and points and possibly other data through the TSD. Team member means that they can share messages and mission-related data through the COM page. So just remember, primary, TSD, team member, COM page. So from my aircraft, I'm now set up to share information through COM page and TSD with all 3 other aircraft. But don't forget, we need to reciprocate that with the other aircraft. So I'm going to go to Bird, Pale Horse 1-2, and I need to do the same thing. And it's all super simple. You just do that. And I need to do Matrix, same thing, pop. And I need to do Simba, add. So I've set all 4 Apaches up so they can now contact all 3 other Apaches. Just a couple of bits I spotted I did wrong. I want to start them from the ground hot. I want to point them up. Start from the ground hot, point them up. Next, for our role play, we need to set some waypoints. So select my guys here, add waypoint, there and there. Bad waypoints they are. And I've done that on purpose as part of the roleplay. Matrix and Simba are going to have good waypoints. It's going to have one there at that altitude, and it's going to have one here at the target. That's very useful, I'm aware. Pop there. So he has good waypoints. And that is our mission set up with all aircraft data linked to each other with the correct amount of access that I want. We're now going to do the same or a similar thing from the cockpit. We're in a multiplayer session now, viewers, and this is obviously mainly relevant to multiplayer. It's what this is all about. So Cap, Bird, Matrix, Simba. All right, in we go. We're going to start in the EUFD. That's this screen here. We're going to choose first which preset to transmit on. We do that with this rocker here. We can see currently we've got the VHF radio selected. That's preset 1. Here we've got the UHF radio selected. Interestingly, it's not attached to a preset, and we'll talk about why in a minute. We can also have FM1, preset 3 and 4. We're going to keep it on VHF preset 1. Next, let's go to our COM page on our left screen. So COM, it defaults here. First, regards presets, we can see them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Note how preset 1 has VHF radio attached to it, FM1, FM2, but no UHF here again. In the cockpit, we can set these presets up also. Obviously, they come in populated from the mission editor, but we can change them. So, preset 1, it gives us the information here. Currently attached VHF radio on that preset there. Well, what if I wanted to add UHF radio to this? I could go UHF on a secure channel. I've now added UHF to it, and you can see UHF here is now attached with preset 1. If I want to scratch that and actually attach UHF to preset 2, let's go and do that. So UHF there, secure preset on 240 megahertz. We can see that UHF is now affiliated with preset 2, and we've got the same up here. We can go into more detail and actually go into preset edits in here, but that's getting more complex than we want to go into today, but just to show that it's there. Next, I want to show that I can change my own ship, my helicopter's data link references. So, in the basic COM page here, this is me, I'm P-1. I can change that by going down here, Orig ID. My call sign is currently P-1. Okay, I want to change that to appear as a different call sign on the data link, and it's important because we want to be able to identify the guys we're working with. So P-1 doesn't mean a lot, but if I change it to cap, so I press that there, scratch pad, cap, enter. Okay, I'm now referred to as cap on the data link. We've also got a data link originator ID here, set as 1, but again, unless there's a really good reason, I would not suggest changing that. And remember, on multiplayer servers, guys will be constantly joining in, adding to these data links, so you've got to be a little bit careful with what we change. Okay, that's all we want to change there. Next, I want to change which aircraft are added to my current preset. So that is relevant to a preset, so we need to choose which preset we want to change. So preset 1, and down the bottom we get net, and you can see the 10 aircraft assigned to that preset. P2, that's bird. G1, that's matrix. G2, that's Simba, and a bunch of blank spots. Why are they populated? Well, it's because I added them in on the mission editor, obviously. Simba's been annoying me lately, so I'm going to go Simba. I'm going to go delete. Yes, bye Simba. Changed my mind, I'm a big softie. Let's bring him back. Member directory. Here are all the guys that I can choose and add to this preset. And G2, I think, was Simba. So G2, Simba, replace or add, and I want to add. And it's added it back to Station 3. Out of there, and Simba's back in. Note he's lost his team and his pry. They are those tick boxes that allow him to access the TSD and the COM page. And that's everything reset back to how it was when we came in. That's how we add and delete and configure members on the preset. Out of net, out of preset 1. Now to actually start doing stuff with the data link. First, using the COM page to communicate with my team members. Bird, Simba, and Matrix. So it's done via this sub box down here, message. We can send and we can receive. There's nothing to receive at the moment, so the receive doesn't show. First, I'm going to send. Send. We can send either text messages or current mission related data, and in the future, mission 1 and mission 2. Text messages. Either mission preset messages or free messages. Mission preset messages are these ones here. Okay, so execute attack, so you can read what it's going to send, and then I can send it here via VHF radio as selected on the rocker here in preset 1. So I'm going to click send. Give it a few seconds and let's see if we got any problems. So if I don't hear anything, it means that everyone on that preset has received those messages okay. If someone hadn't received that, or should I say hadn't sent an acknowledgement back, then we would get an XMIT NAK show up here. That means that it's tried resending the messages and it can't get through to someone. Why might that happen? Well, maybe they haven't configured their data link. Maybe they're out of line of sight behind a tree. Maybe they're too far away. All sorts of reasons it might be. But in this case, all 3 boys got the message. Next, let's send a free message. Super simple, obviously. Free message here. I've got 4 slots, and I want to send slot 1, and I want to populate it with hello, enter. Select it, don't forget to select it, and send. Wait a few seconds. No XMIT NAC. So everyone's received it. Guys, have you received my message?
Affirm.
Bird, send me a free message, please. Ideally not rude, due to demonetizations.
Okay, and I think that should be it.
Roger, I just realised I need to turn my sounds on for this, viewers. When it comes through, I'll have a little beep, obviously, a little ring that you'll see next time. It'll say data link message here. I now have the receive option, receive. Here will be the list of messages that have come through, or the data that's come through. I can review this one. I can see it's from P2. We know that's Bird. Review it. Have you been Ms. sold PPI? Call us. Well, that's a very, very useful comment, Bird. That's spam, so I'm going to delete it. Simba, you might as well just send something through. I don't care what. Something. Oh, and there's, you hear that beep? This one's from G2. That's Simba. Review. Free candy. That's an even better message. I will delete it anyway. And obviously, do delete your messages, viewers, because it's like an inbox, right? It's just going to clutter you up. Next, as well as messages, obviously, we've got the mission-related data. So, COM page, send, current mission. Now, here is where it gets really complex, and I'm still not fully au fait with what you would want to send and why. So, I won't try and tell you, but what you can send is your waypoints to the other guys, areas, lines, targets, threats, control measures, laser codes, various routes. I don't fully know why you would want to send all of them yet, but you could also press all, and that will send all of them. When you've got something boxed, obviously you can send it to that radio and that preset. Let's try and use this, shall we? Matrix, can you send me your waypoints as per your current mission, please? Let's see if we can get that to come through.
Roger. Sending.
And there we go, receive. And we can see that we've got waypoint come through. Let's store that. We can obviously get rid of it if we want, but let's store it. Current mission here. Again, mission 1, mission 2 aren't a thing yet. Store. As you can see on our TSD, and this is really important, it's replaced our current waypoints with Matrix's waypoints. I could send it back to him, but it will just be the same as what it's got. So just be careful that it will tape over the current one that you've got while we've only got one mission to use.
So let's say, right, me and Matrix are on a certain mission, and you and Bird are on a certain mission. You completed your mission set, and you still had lots of gas, and let's say me and Matrix were under heavier fire and we needed more support. By us sending you our mission data, then you could now get to our location and
Brilliant.
see where our pre-planned targets would be, right? So that's the thing, right? So if you had a different mission set, you were in our, close to our AOR, and you're like, hey man, I've got the guns and bullets. Do you guys need help? And we're like, yeah, come join the party. We could send you our mission data set, and then now you are tactically aware of what our plan was.
And another good point that Simba alluded to there is that as well as data link's to be used in conjunction with your radio voice. So I will call Simba on the radio, say, I'm sending this stuff over. Shall I send this stuff over? He says, yeah, send it over. And then I send over that mission pack or the threat data or whatever. Yeah, great. Right, that's COM. I don't want to go into it anymore. I've shown what I think we need to show. Next is the TSD, viewers. Now, this is where it gets really spunky. Matrix, can you first share with us your position, your PP, your present position, and let me know when you've done it.
Roger, sending position.
All right, you can see when he sent something, I can receive. So I'm going to receive it. G1 has sent his present position. Click it. Ping. That's where Matrix is. Note that it does not update automatically. Nothing on the Apache data link, as far as I'm aware, updates automatically. So that will stay there now, even if Matrix moves. And it will not update until he sends me a new update. That's different to how the fighter jet data links work. Simba, send me your PP, and Bird, you might as well send me your PP as well. Right, receive. G2, Simba, ping, and they're in the same place, obviously, and they're still on the ground. And that shows that we can do this from the ground. As long as the terrain is flat and we've got line of sight, we can still do it. Okay, guys. Oh, I just received another one. So receive, obviously, that's Bird, and Bird is next to me. I'm going to now share my PP with them. I can show my PP there if you want, by the way, viewers. I can report. I'm going to report my present position. Who do I want to share it with? And I can box the guys here, because I might not want to send it to everyone, but I do. Send it to everyone. Preset 1. Bosh. Did you get it, guys?
Affirm.
Next, we want to start sending... well, we can send various data through viewers, all sorts of data, but let's stick to just target points, guys. For these target points to be of any use, we need to set our display filters up. So, show... well, whatever you want, really, but I'm going to have threats on, targets on, coordinate show. These are different sub-filters. Friendly units I want on, enemy units on, plan, targets, threats. Basically turn everything on. Unless you specifically don't want something on. Alright, and we can see all this stuff now. This hasn't come through the data link. This has come through the mission editor. It's a, it'll come through on a data cartridge, you know, pre-planned in the mission building. But now we're going to start receiving dynamic stuff from the guys, because they will see extra targets, targets may move, and so on. Matrix, can you send me a target over? I don't care if it's a real target or a river or anything. Just send me something over to show the viewers.
Sending.
There it goes. Right, receive from Matrix a target/threat. Ping, put it up, and you can see he has populated target 03 there. Simba, punch me another target through, please. Received from Simba from, yep, Simba, it's a target or threat. Ping, and T04 has appeared at that grid square. How do we do something with it, viewers? Well, you could fly to it manually via your TSD, and you can have your human CPG then prosecute it. Now I'm going to start sending stuff back, guys. So I need to just show you the buttons I'm going to use. Obviously, you need your cursor up, down, left, right, cursor enter, and cursor display select. So I'm going to display select to put my cursor on the screen. So this is a non-real-time use of it. So if I just want to show Simba a target via the map, there, that pylon thing needs blowing up. Move your cursor there. Cursor enter. Pip. I'm going to then transmit via a point. So point. It's going to be, I'm going to add a point. It's going to be a target. You can send other points, obviously, but let's just keep it simple. Target. Cursor enter. I've populated target 05 and I have that selected. You can see as the black circle. I'm going to now transmit that. While that's selected, transmit it to the guys. So XMIT. Who do I want to XMIT it to? P2, G1, and G2. Send. Guys, confirm you've received T05 over a pylon thing.
Affirm.
Cool. Right, viewers. That was how I could do it via the TSD, and I will now show you, try and show you how I can do it tactically, finding a target with my CPG. I've got an AI CPG. This will be done with a human, obviously. Let me just set him up with left control and Victor. Select him a weapon, make him fire it. Alright guys, let's see how this goes. Right, put my eye back on. Now let's go and try and find something. There. Okay, it's found some AAA. I'm going to indeed engage that AAA. Now on my TSD you can see he absolutely has found a target there. And the way I'm going to transmit that over, there may be other ways of transmitting this data over, but the way I'm going to do it is move my cursor over to where my laser is showing. There. Repeat the process pretty much. So point. Get rid of XMIT. I'm going to go point. Where this is difficult to do while flying. Add. Target. Enter. Target 06 created and selected. XMIT. You, and you. Send. I've now found a target through George. I've put the cursor on top of it, and I've created a target point out of it, and I've sent it to the guys. Did anyone receive T06?
Affirm.
Will there be a more streamlined method of sending a real-time target? I don't know. I hope so, because that was a bit of a nightmare to do. Oh, hello. In real time. But anyone got any thoughts on that? We've tried other methods, obviously, haven't we, guys?
No, it's not the most intuitive, but I think once you get the hang of it, it'll be very powerful.
And that's what we wanted to show with the data link that's in there at the moment, and how we can, some use cases. That's it. Go and enjoy your data links, viewers. I hope that was useful, and bye-bye.